Hello. I want to give you an update on what is actually going on in the sort of world right now because it's a little confusing. And bottom line is the banks are starting to fail and they're going to really fail. You're going to see banks failing. And this is directly related to the silver situation, okay? And of course, we have stuff going on in Japan with the yen carry trade, which can be a little hard to sort of grasp as what's actually happening. There's a lot happening sort of underneath the surface that isn't overtly obvious to most people. And I guess my point is that you need to be prepared for this. So I guess the best way for me to describe what's going on is the story of the ants and the grasshopper. So there's a story, I don't even know where it comes from. It's about the ants and the grasshopper. And so there's a storm coming. The clouds are gathering. It's getting dark. Winter's coming. It's the end of fall. And the ants are out there gathering up all the supplies they're going to need. You know, they're preparing for into their colony, and they're preparing for the hard times. The ants are working and they're working and they're working. They're industriously collecting every seed and every berry and every piece of bark that they're going to need to get them through the winter. And so they're doing all the legwork to get it going. Meanwhile, the grasshoppers are out there. They're all sitting on the veranda. They're having a cocktail, they're having a great old time. And they're like, hey, ants, come on over, have a good time. Come on, little ant. That's what the grasshopper says to the ant. Why don't you come? Stop working so hard. Come have a drink, relax, take it easy for a minute. And the ant's like, the storm's coming. I can't stop. The clouds are gathering. The winter is almost here. Winter's coming, right? So, and the grasshopper said, it's not that bad. Whatever. And the ant's like, no, I must keep going. So the ant keeps working diligently. And then just as the storms are coming, they all go down into their colony and they kind of close everything up and they're prepared. And then the storm comes and it starts raining and the winds start ripping away the entire veranda and the entire little place where the grasshoppers were sitting around celebrating, having a good old time. And then all the grasshoppers start running for the hills, for some place to hide, and they're shivering in a little corner here or there. And the grasshopper is running around and the ant sort of comes up for one last thing and he sees the grasshopper and the grasshopper says, the storm, it's so bad. What should I do? Can you help me? And the ant says, I tried to warn you. I tried to tell you to please get your supplies together because now the storm's here and it's too late. And the ant goes down into his little, his colony. And that's the last the grasshopper ever sees of the ant. And it's the last the ant ever sees of the grasshopper. And that is where we are. We are at that point of the storm. It is still time. There's still a little bit of time. There's some drops of rain that are coming. There's some storm clouds that are forming. It is time to get your seeds and berries together, okay? Number one is silver. Crypto is low right now compared to where it has been. It can continue to drop a little bit more, but Bitcoin and the right cryptos are going to skyrocket when the storm really hits. Okay, you have to understand that that's what it's for. It's an alternative asset. When the dollar's having trouble, people are going to run to Bitcoin, especially if they can't get silver. Okay, if they can't get the other assets, silver and gold as well, but Bitcoin is digital, so you can cross borders with large amounts of it. You can go anywhere. You cannot carry a trunk full of gold around, right? You're going to get robbed. It's not really the way it works. So this is where we are. And banks are starting to fail. Banks are going to fail. Keep your eyes on Europe. When European banks start to go under, it's game over. All right? And so we are maybe months away from that. I would just assume weeks just to be prepared. That's my message for you today. So don't be a grasshopper. Please be an ant. Please be an ant. I've been an ant for a long time. And the ants are going to have it. The ants are going to be the ones who are going to make it through and thrive on the other side of all of this. But the storm is coming. Winter is coming. And I mean financial winter. So please prepare yourselves. That's the message. And of course, if you want more, there's lots of free information on my website. You can also become a member to get more details on what's going on. but I am preparing people for winter. That's the whole point. Talk to you guys later. Bye.